guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's make something pretty. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by because today we're going to have some amazing fun. But before we get started, thank you to everyone for being here, and thank you to everyone who is providing such positive support to my channel and to me. And so today, here's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using these 8x10 notebooks that I found at the Dollar Tree. They're hardbound. They're already very nice. They've got the nice little elastic where you can position where you are in the book. But we're going to take these and we're going to cover them and turn them into really beautiful gratitude journals. And so here's one that I've already covered. And here is another one that I've already covered. I'll give you a closer look once we get ready to go over what you're going to need. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all, so here's a closer look at the 2 gratitude journals that I've already made. And these are going to be large gratitude journals. They're 8x10, but they are so gorgeous. And you can see that I used some of the paper that you guys have seen me using. Added a little cut apart to the top just to create a nice little saying. Then we can slide this off. And on the inside, I added paper. I think I might go back and add a pocket over to this side, but I haven't decided yet. But you can see just how cute this is. We can take those plain old Dollar Tree hardbound journals and dress them up and make them pretty. So here is the second one. I used that awesome chocolate paisley because this book was actually brown, so it fit right in. And it says thankful, grateful, and blessed. And so then when we open it, I have covered the inside. And on the back, you can see I covered the back as well. So this really is a very easy process, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. But here's what you're going to need. Now, I'm going to be using an 8x10 hardbound journal from the Dollar Tree, but this process will work with whatever journal type you're using. So follow the process, not necessarily the measurements, because you might be working with different sizes than what I have here. So what I need for mine are 4 pieces that measure 7 3/4 by 9 3/4. And then I have 2 pieces of 12 by 12. And I'm using this beautiful blue floral because my book is going to be blue. So I really want to make sure that when I'm putting this down, I have it so that I am sort of matching the spine portion of this. So remember, this is going to be all about following the process and not necessarily the sizes given. So I have covered this in double stick tape. I'm going to go ahead and remove the double stick tape. So then I'm going to take my 12 by 12 inch piece, one of them, and I am going to add a strip of tape to the edge because I want to make sure there's not any pull up where we're about to place this. So I have a strip of tape there. I'm going to go ahead and peel away the tape backer. Then I'm going to take this piece, and what I'm going to do is lay it down right here at the edge of my tape because I ran my tape very close to the spine, but I didn't go into that little spine well that you'll have on a hardbound journal. So I'm going to take this, and when I place it down, I am just placing it down as close to my tape line as possible. So now that I have it down, I'm just going to use my big old spatula to get this nice and stuck. I'm going to flip it over, take my finger blade, and just remove some of the excess. And now I'll take my stylus and I am just going to create a nice little score. Go ahead and fold that up just a little bit to get it ready to be folded over. And now I can miter my edges. And so now my piece will look like this. I'm going to take my tape runner and just use tape on these edges because I will be sandwiching the edges in using a liner piece. Now I can take this, stand it up, fold this over, and get it nice and stuck. Do the same thing here. I'm going to fold it over. And then I'll do this section right here. And just like that, we already have a beautiful cover to this, but we're going to open it. And now I'm going to place paper here and here. Now let me show you guys how I did mine. So the way that I'm going to place my adhesive on my inside liner pieces, I am going to use my Xyron Creative Station. Now I've shown this in previous videos, and basically what it is a sticker maker. So it applies adhesive to the back of whatever it is you put on the inside. So I'm going to take this liner piece that measures 7 3/4 by 9 3/4, place it on the tray with the printed side that I want out facing up, and then I'm just going to turn the handle and now I have adhesive on the back, and I can use this little cutter here and cut it off to remove it. And so when you have your sticker maker, you're going to have this clear plastic piece on the top. It's just a protective piece, and you simply need to remove it. And then I like to go over the back of mine with my big old spatula just to make sure that I have my adhesive nice and stuck. And then I also take my fingers and run it along the edges in case there's any adhesive hanging out the edge. This is a good way of getting rid of it. You can also use an adhesive eraser and use that there, but I'm just using my finger. Now, if you don't have a sticker maker and you don't want to invest in one, you don't necessarily need it to make this part of the project. You can put tape on the back of this, or you can use some of the spray adhesive and apply the adhesive to the back. Just make sure that if you're using the spray adhesive, you use it outdoors. So I have my book open, and I'm just going to peel away the backer piece. And you can see that sheen on there. My adhesive is on this paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and turn it this way because for some reason it's easier for me to work. And I'm going to take that paper and just butt it against the inside like that. Use my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. And I don't know what it is about plaid, but I absolutely love it. And I especially love it with any type of floral. So that's the inside of the book that you'll see. I'm going to go ahead and place my second piece. And what I'm going to do again is I will hold the book like this. I'm going to bring that second piece all the way to the inside and put it down. And then I'll use my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. And now I'm going to flip it over. Use my big old spatula again to make sure that I iron out any wrinkles. And now we have a beautiful outside and a beautiful inside to this journal. So now we need to flip it over to the back. Okay guys, so now we need to focus on the back. And we have this elastic band that's on the back, and it's adhered in place with some eyelets. So what we're going to do is we need to remove that eyelet. And the easiest way that I found is the eyelet isn't sitting perfect on the inside. So you just need to take something, and I'm using my piercer to get under the inside and raise it just a little bit. Then if you have some wire nips, just bend it upward with that wire nip the way that I did that piece there. And then I'll take the wire nips, grab it, and pull it out. And so now I have my elastic piece removed. And we're going to cover this in the same way that we did the front. So I am going to take my tape and I'm going to place down some tape. And you can see that when I'm placing the tape, I'm not placing the tape on the spine. I'm just leaving that area the way that it was. And now that I have all of my tape down, I'll just use my spatula to get it nice and stuck. Then I'll peel away the tape backer. I'm going to bring in my second piece of 12 by 12. And again, I'm going to place some tape right on the edge so that we can make sure we don't have any pull away. And now I'll remove that tape backer. Bring in our journal, and we're going to take this piece and do it just like we did the cover on the front. We're going to place it down, getting it nice and stuck. Then I'm going to use my finger blade to trim away some of the excess scrap that I'll be saving so that I can use on another project. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and poke my hole so that I'll know where my hole position is. And I'll use my stylus to go around the edges and just create a score. And now I can fold this just a little bit. And I'm going to take my finger blade and just miter. Now I'll take my handy dandy tape runner, run some tape. And we're just going to stand this up. Fold over these pieces. And fold over this piece. And then I'll use my spatula to go in, get everything nice and stuck. So now we have the back side of our book. I am going to peel away my tape backer because I used my sticker maker. But like I said, you don't have to have a sticker maker. You can actually tape the back of this, or you can use a spray adhesive if you want. I'm going to take this piece and we're going to bring it in and just butt it against the back of that paper and place it down. And then I'll use my big old spatula to go in and get it nice and stuck. Then I felt just a little bit of sticky there that I missed, and I'm just going to clean that up. And now I'll turn it this way. I'm going to take our last piece, remove that tape backer, and now I can stand it up, and when I put it down, I'm just going to slide it in against this back here until it hits, and then I can lay it down. We're going to make sure we have this nice and stuck. And then I'll use my big old spatula to go in and iron out those wrinkles. I can also see that the edge is hanging over there. So I am going to take my scissors and just trim to remove that excess overhang, because it has sticky on it and it'll be in the way if we don't. And so now we have the back of our book. I am going to take my piercer, and because I've pierced those holes, I'll go ahead and just pierce through. And I'll do the same thing right here. I'll pierce through. Now I'm not going to put eyelets on mine. You can if you want, but for those of you who don't have eyelets, I'm going to show you how we can reattach this elastic without having the eyelet. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to feed that elastic through our hole. And so I'm going to take that elastic and I'm just going to pull it through. Then I'm going to take some hot glue and just place some hot glue right there. And I'm going to take this elastic and place it down in the hot glue. Now that's kind of ugly, but we'll fix it in just a minute. Then I'll stand it up and I'm going to do the same thing over here. And so I need to take the elastic and feed it through my hole. I don't want to pull it too tight because we do need for it to be able to come across the top. I'm going to take my glue, place some glue right there, and we'll stick that down in the glue. Again, not too pretty, but we're going to add something that'll fix that. So now we have replaced the elastic on the back, and you can see that you can't even tell that you don't have eyelets on here because they weren't very visible even on the original. So I am going to open this. I'm going to bring in a piece of my scrap because now I'm going to take that scrap and just put it down, and we're going to create a pocket that is going to cover where we actually placed the elastic. So we're going to take that pocket and we're going to put it right here, and then you won't see the elastic anymore. So this time I'm just going to take my hot glue and I'm going to use my hot glue to place down my pocket. And I'm using the hot glue because the gun is already hot. It's right here. You can do this with tape, or you can do this with your Reptile glue. Again, like I said, I'm using my hot glue because it just happened to be there. And I'm going to get that nice and stuck. And so now we have a nice little pocket. We can tuck something into it, and you're able to see how well it complements the back of the book. So we have a covered book, guys, and it looks fantastic. It looks 100 times better than it did when it was originally just a blue bound journal. So now that we have our elastic secured to the back, we can take this and bring it across the front, or you can take it and place it on the inside to hold your position if you need to go back to a particular part of this for note taking. So now I'm going to take a 3x4 cut apart. I'm going to add some tape to the back, and I'm going to mount it to this nice navy blue, and then I'm going to trim it. So the mat size that I'm using to mount is 3.5 by 4.5. Then I'm also going to go ahead and mount one for the inside as well. And it's a 3x4, and I'll be using the same size background mat, which is 3.5 by 4.5. So let me go ahead and just add some tape to the back of this. We're going to take this and place it down. Then I'm just going to use my scissors to trim. So now I'm going to take this one, I'm going to put it right here on the front using some tape from my tape runner. So now I'll take this one that says start each day with a grateful heart. And so we're going to place it right there. We are covering a good portion of that flower, but you still get that whole flower feel because it looks like it's coming out and around where we place this. So I am going to take my second one and we're going to place it on the inside just like that. And now I'll take this one and we're going to place it down. So when you have your book like this, you've got a nice, beautiful cover. You open it, you have a nice inside. And I think I'm going to take this and just make it into a pocket. So I am not even measuring this. I'm just taking some scrap. I'm going to cut that scrap and create myself a little pocket. And I'm going to place that pocket right there at the bottom. So this time I am using my Reptile. I'm going to place some glue right there and some glue right here. Now I can take this, put it right here in the corner, then I'll use my spatula to get that nice and stuck. And there we have a beautiful inside to this already beautiful journal. So I am going to close it, bring that elastic back to the front so that y'all can see just how gorgeous this is. And as I was making these, what I thought was how awesome and how sweet it would be to make these for each season. So using seasonal paper, create a whole series of 4 so that you have a journal for each season. And in fact, I think I might do that as a gift to someone. So I am going to bring in the other 2 that I made so that you guys can see just how absolutely gorgeous these are. And you just saw how easy it was to do. So no matter the journal size that you're working with, remember it's the process of how we're covering it. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed these beautiful 8x10 hardbound gratitude journals. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.